Hey everybody, I thought I would do a video about a little talk on breeding ethics, and that it's not a subject that's all black and white. And it was precipitated by events this morning. Excuse me, I have got a dry cough. I don't know why. I had written an article, an informative article for BackyardChickens.com on thyrogenous dwarfism. And you've seen my videos, probably, if you follow my channel, on Piglet and Pooh Bear, and how the gene got into my line of barred rocks. And a couple days ago, the staff on BYC featured my article, so I began to get a lot of more comments on the article. And they were all being very positive until this comment was left, and I'll read it to you word for word. So, you gave a rooster to someone else who could spread the genes ever farther instead of culling the bird with known issues it can pass on down the line. That doesn't seem responsible. Okay, that was the reply, and that was the comment to which I replied. I was responsible. No rooster left here without full disclosure of the gene, how it works, and what might happen. I linked the article in my ads to sell the boys. The dwarf gene does not stop them from being good flock guardians. They're beautiful and easy to manage, non-human aggressive, the latter part being of paramount importance to many backyard flock owners, actually most. If no one had wanted to take on that responsibility, they would have stayed here. I saw no reason to execute a beautiful, sweet, and healthy, non-aggressive rooster like Apollo if someone wanted him for their hens for a free-range guardian. His genetic anomaly did not affect his own health, his hens' health, or his ability to guard, watch, and protect his hens. His older sisters, Lizzie and Tessa, were eventually sold as layers, because I have no idea if they carried that gene, since I never hatched from them. Zara and Athena, the known dwarf producers, are here as layers only now. I quit breeding from that line, and that's all I can do. If no one had wanted him, I would have kept him here and given him some layers to watch over. He was sold first, full disclosure of the gene and how it works. And that was my answer. So today I see this person has followed me to my YouTube channel and posted on the Trolls and Monsters video. How appropriate, right? He posts that I will kill a deformed chick, yet I won't kill off my dwarf gene carriers, including continuing the harassment and retaliation for me not agreeing with his point of view. Seems oxymoronic that a troll would comment on a video about trolls, but what the hey, right? Apples and oranges, my friends. Not the same thing. Deformed chicks have no chance at a normal life. Dwarf gene carriers are generally healthy birds. They probably should not be bred because they pass the gene to 50% of the progeny, only producing a dwarf when their mate also passes the gene to the same chick. A hen can lay eggs. The dwarf gene has no bearing on that ability. The rooster can guard his free-range flock and sacrifice himself to protect the hens and be eye candy. The dwarf gene has no bearing on that either. Just because he has gonads doesn't mean that that's his only purpose. A dwarf itself is technically a healthy bird as well. I mean, if you really want to get to the truth of it, they are technically healthy up until it passes away suddenly. It can't reproduce, so there is no risk of passing a gene from a dwarf itself. It does quite well for as long as it lives. These two girls right here, they're from my other line. They do not have the dwarf gene, to my knowledge. This other line has no relation to the line that has the dwarfism. Okay, then this person says, well, what if someone decides to breed the chicks from those carriers? And my answer is to that, and I couldn't answer them because there's a glitch in our system where I can't answer a second reply. I said, well, I'm thinking, well, so what? No one needs to lecture me on ethics, and how am I responsible for someone else's actions? I am not. I'm only responsible for my own actions. It's not like I gave somebody a diseased bird. Apollo had a genetic anomaly that the new owners were informed of before taking him that doesn't affect his health, the health of his hens, not his ability to guard himself on range or sacrifice himself. And to put this in perspective, these were backyard flock owners, not breeders that Apollo and his brothers before him went to live with. There were other folks who took males from this line before I was even aware that the dwarf gene was still lurking in the line. It even existed in this line. There weren't breeders, not just backyarders. And folks, these are chickens. They're not human beings. World peace isn't at stake. The world's not going to spin off its axis if somebody breeds a bird that they probably shouldn't. The gene will likely never make it out of their backyards. And though it sounds bad, it's likely the males that I sold out of Atlas will be killed by predators because, well, it always seems to happen elsewhere. These are such pretty girls, aren't they? You like my shoes, girls? Why don't you go outside, you goof girls? I guess they're going to hang around and listen to me talk. Professional breeders and poultry judges told me years ago that I should continue this line for show and only cull the dwarfs, not lose the line altogether. I'm not really lining up with that thinking myself, but I thank them for the viewpoint. So this is not a black and white issue, folks. Hello there, Janie. Hello. It's not a black and white issue. The troll today said I should kill all my dwarf gene carriers. By that reasoning, I should go out to the barn and slit the throat of 4-year-old Atlas, Apollo's father, the one who introduced the gene into the barred rock line from his Delaware grandsire. Atlas is a fine free-range rooster. He takes excellent care of his hens. He's large enough to put up a good defense for them on range. He's non-human aggressive, like all his sons, his father, his grandsire. Why does he deserve execution necessarily? He doesn't. If you want to run your... Hey, baby. You're so silly. Hey, girl. If you want to run your flocks that way, that's entirely your business. I'm not telling you what to do. Me, I don't necessarily grab an axe for a bird who has uses here on this farm besides reproduction. Folks have male dogs regarding their property that they don't breed, I bet, right? Same principle. So again, I'm going to do it again. Trolls, be warned. You will be deleted from my channel as this person was today. I don't mind having an adult conversation. However, to suggest I must do things your way, managing my healthy animals, is ridiculous. I mean, if you want to kill your own birds, fine, do it. But, for instance, I have a hen who has rye tail. And she's in this line over here, this other line. I don't breed from her. I never have bred from her. I never will. Because I don't want to pass on the rye tail gene. No way I would execute that hen when she has other purposes than breeding. She lays eggs. She's a sweet girl. What if she had side sprigs on her comb? I'm going to execute her for that? No, I'm just not going to breed her. I mean, I have a hen, my black Plymouth Rock hen, who's from my Blue Rock line, has side sprigs. I've never bred from her. I never would. She's 8 years old now. She doesn't really lay anymore, but I don't breed from her. So, when she does lay eggs, she lays eggs. So, I realize the dwarf gene is a little bit different. There's nothing. It's not a disease. It's a genetic anomaly, and the dwarfs themselves are healthy. They live as long as they live. They do fine. They have a happy life, and then they just suddenly die. And folks, all chickens provide fertilizer and entertainment. What can I tell you? And a lot of them are just really good eye candy, like these pretty girls here, Hector's daughters. So that's my subject for the day. Ethics, I'm not going to kill all my carriers. And first of all, you don't even understand about this. Apparently if they'd read my article, they would realize you don't even know if a bird's a carrier until it meets up with another carrier and eventually produces a dwarf. And you can breed the same two carriers for years, and if they don't send the same gene to the same chick at the same time, I will never see a dwarf. They could produce carriers upon carriers upon carriers, and I would never know that they were carriers themselves. That's the way the dwarf gene works. So it's not as cut and dried as you seem to think it is. So, do whatever you want in your own flock, but do not be telling me that there is only one way to deal with this situation. And especially in the nasty way it was done today, by stalking and harassing and retaliatory comments and whatnot. So, that's it for the day, guys. Hope you enjoyed watching Maddie and Jane run around. These are going to be Hector's girls, since he has a right-tailed girl. And I put one of the dwarf gene carriers in with him as a placeholder. No, I'm not collecting her eggs for hatching. Never did. Just a placeholder to take the pressure off the two hens he does have, with this girl's mother and then the right-tailed girl and the other girl just till these girls grow up, and then I'll remove the dwarf carrier girl, and they'll be with their daddy. So, talk to you guys soon. Hope you understand what I was trying to say. And have a great day. Stay cool, everybody. Stay cool.